For millennia, philosophy has been the domain of the armchair, a thinker, a question, and the vast, quiet space of pure reason. But what if we took those ancient questions and put them under a microscope? Welcome to Infinity Cast. I'm your host, Niko Ardent, and today we're stepping into the fascinating clash between the armchair and the lab coat. Joining me is my co-host Elian Quanta to help us unpack this new science of old questions. Elian, welcome.
Great to be here, Niko. The battleground you're describing has a name, experimental philosophy, or X-Phi for short. The core idea is simple but radical. Instead of relying on a single philosopher's intuition about concepts like knowledge, intention, or morality, why not go out and empirically test how people in general use these concepts? Take the famous trolley problem. A traditional philosopher might analyze it through deontology or utilitarianism. An experimental philosopher might survey thousands of people from different cultural backgrounds to see if the correct intuition changes. They're essentially data mining the human mind for philosophical clues.
And that's incredibly appealing, isn't it? It feels like it grounds these lofty, abstract debates in reality. For centuries, the default intuition in Western philosophy was that of a highly educated, usually white, male. X-Phi seems to challenge that by asking, is your intuition really universal, or is it a product of your specific environment? It feels like a check on philosophical bias.
It certainly can be a powerful diagnostic tool, I agree. But it also raises a critical question for me. Is philosophy just a descriptive project? Is its goal simply to report what people happen to believe? I mean, if we surveyed people in the 14th century, their intuition would tell them the sun revolves around the earth. That doesn't make it true. The armchair philosopher would argue that their job isn't to poll intuitions, but to scrutinize them with logic. It's a normative discipline, not a descriptive one. It asks not what we do think, but what we ought to think, logically and coherently.
That's the classic defense, and it's a strong one. But maybe they're not mutually exclusive. Perhaps the armchair is for building the conceptual framework, for asking the right questions, while the lab coat is for understanding the cognitive machinery that produces our answers. Knowing that our moral intuitions might be shaped by, say, an evolved sense of disgust doesn't invalidate moral philosophy, but it gives it crucial context. It tells the philosopher what raw material they're working with. It's not about replacing reason with surveys, but informing reason with data.
A partnership, then. The philosopher frames the question, the scientist investigates the psychology behind it, and the philosopher then uses that information to refine the conceptual analysis. I can see that. It prevents philosophy from becoming a game played with concepts completely detached from human experience. But it leaves us with a final lingering question for our listeners to ponder. Does knowing the psychological or cultural origin of an intuition make it any less valid? If your sense of justice is a product of your brain's wiring, does that change what justice is? That's a deep rabbit hole.
One we'll have to leave open for now. Thank you, Elian, for that fantastic breakdown. Whether X-Phi is a revolution or just a new tool in the box, it proves that even a discipline as old as philosophy is still capable of profound evolution. I'm Niko Ardent, and this has been Infinity Cast. Join us next time as we explore the boundaries of the known and the unknown.